our challengers are Billy's Booger versus the Bug Girl. I'm going to read us Billy's Booger, but don't forget to make sure that you listen to the other story and then vote for which one is your favorite. Billy's Booger, a memoir, sort of, written by William Joyce and his younger self. Billy's Booger, a memoir, which is a true story, which this book is, written and drawn by William Joyce and his younger self from the 4th grade, actually. On this first page, the author and illustrator kind of let us get inside Billy's mind. You can tell that he should be working on his health and science worksheets and books. One of them is talking about like what noses do, but he decided to draw a booger that says, "Take me to your leader, Earth person." He also has a list of top secret possible book titles. One is The Nose Dudes from Beyond. One is It Came From Inside My Nose. One is Billy's Booger. We can also see that instead of doing all his work, he has a few comics and drawings. So we're starting to get a feel that Billy is very imaginative. Once upon a time, when TV was in black and white and there were only 3 channels, and when kids didn't have playdates, they just roamed free in the out of doors, there lived a kid named Billy. Billy loved monster movies and cartoons and comic books and something called the funny papers. During the week, the funnies were small and in black and white, but on Sundays, they were huge and in color. And if you spread them out, they would fill a room. And sometimes a whole day. Notice he's drawn himself into some of these cartoons. Billy wished school was more like the funny papers, but his efforts in making math more fun were not entirely successful. Billy also found regular sports too regular. He did much better at sports he invented, but the PE teacher didn't entirely agree. Every now and then, Billy would get sent home from school with a note, but his parents would always write back, "Ha! You should see the stuff he does at home. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Billy, your son has been very odd as of late, and while we always try to encourage creativity, we cannot condone full-fledged mayhem." Then one day, Mrs. Pagely, the librarian, announced there would be a contest to see which kid could make the best kids' book. Billy's brain was about to explode. He asked the librarian for books on many different subjects: meteors, mythology, space travel, and mucus. What have I done? Mrs. Pagely worried. For the next few days, Billy thought and read and wrote and drew. "Well, his nose is certainly to the grindstone," said Billy's dad. "I wonder what kind of note he'll get this time," said his sister. But Billy didn't hear them. He was living the dream. And the name of his book? Billy's Booger, the memoir of a little green-nosed buddy. Chapter 1, I am sneezed. I was just a regular booger inside the regular nose of all the other boogers were there. Nick and Eddie and Ed on the left, me and Curly on the right. We were watching Billy do his math. 4 + 1 = 7. There's Billy, and we are here. Billy went exploring, so we had to hide. "He's been biting his nails again," said Curly. "Must be a math test coming up," said Ed. "Too bad we can't help him," I said. Then, right then, way, way, way in outer space, a star sneezed and out came this meteorite that zoomed all the way to Earth and through Billy's window. Sniffle, sniffle, little star, achoo! Look out below! And it went right to Billy's house. The meteor bonked Billy right on top of his head. We were all knocked out cold. Then Billy sneezed, and out I came. Bonk! Achoo! Me. Chapter 2, Super Booger. When we woke up, I had incredible math powers and was green. Really, really green. And I decided that I would use my powers to help poor Billy out. Though only a booger, I will help you become the world's greatest mathematical genius. E = mc², 2 divided by 50. Gee, thanks. You are my pal and a super booger. Well, the name Super Booger stuck. I was faster than a speeding spitball. Pew! More powerful than the meanest bully. Help, help! able to leap tall swing sets with a single sneeze. Achoo! Then Billy started getting superpowers that were amazing and totally different than mine. He could turn green peas into chocolate, and he could fly, which of course meant he could wear a cape, and he could be invisible, and generally super interesting all at the same time. Ah, peas. Don't worry, I'll use my chocolate ray vision. Where are you, Billy? Right here, and reciting the encyclopedia backwards. Zizza, a genus of grasshoppers. And with my help, Billy could do the hardest math any teacher ever taught. Even the president asked Billy math advice. Billy, can you help me? I've got to know how many candy bars we need to give to all the kids of the US of A. My calculations show that 4 bazillion candy bars should do it. That's 1,000 bars a year per kid. Thanks, Billy. Sure, Prez. Chapter 3. And so, Billy became the go-to kid on the whole darn planet when it came to math stuff and bad guys and supervillains and crime. Nick and Eddie and Curly just stayed nose side. They got kind of gypped on superpowers. We're okay with that, really. But whenever the need arrived, I'd blast out of Billy's nose and we would save the day. Out, out, and away was our motto. The end? Don't bet on it. Published in USA by Billy, done initially in green peas and 1 white pencil. Principal Blisterbomb would be the judge for the contest. Billy liked the principal. He got sent to him all the time, especially during the science fair. He called Billy one of my most challenging students ever. So the day the winners were announced, Billy was pretty excited. But he didn't win first place. He didn't win second place. He didn't win third place. He didn't get an honorable mention. He didn't get a note from his teacher. And he didn't even get sent to the principal. It was a long walk home. His mom and dad were concerned about him. Even his sister was worried. Billy is so normal now. It's weird. A week or so later, Billy glumly took all the library books back, even the ones about mucus. Mrs. Pagely smiled at him in a nutty sort of way. Then Billy heard laughing. Some of his friends and some older kids were at the table reading a book. This is hilarious. I want to check this out next. This book should have won something. I put all the contest books in the library, said Miss Pagely, and yours is checked out the most, Billy. He hadn't won first, or second, or third, or an honorable mention, but his book was now in the library, and it was checked out the most. This made Billy smile, in a Billy sort of way. You've got a 20 in imagination, said one of Billy's pals, but Billy didn't hear him. His mind was on fire. He wasn't so normal it was weird anymore, and he was still Mr. Blisterbomb's most challenging student. So if you look at his scores, he got pretty bad scores in everything, except for a 20 in imagination. Work on those low scores, Billy. I look forward to what you come up with next year. Mr. Blisterbomb. P.S. You're still my most challenging student. And the walk home? It was just the beginning of a long, long adventure. And I love on the very last page, really quickly, you can see this is William Joyce who wrote our story. When he's little and he's wearing the exact same outfit we see in the beginning with a crazy thing on his head, it says he began writing books in 4th grade. He's done a bunch of books since, but this book was the true story of the making of his very first book. And that book was included in this book. So his very first book was Billy's Booger, and we just read it. It says he won lots of awards, and then here you can see him as an adult, still being pretty interesting, if you ask me. So I'm glad that we could enjoy this book together. Please make sure that you vote and pick your favorite book. We'll see you guys next time.